This video is on the topic of life being a play and the importance of not putting too much pressure on yourself. Now, I first heard this idea of life is a play from Vadim Zeland, and in this video I'm going to read a couple quotes from his book, Transurfing in 78 Days, a book I'm revisiting right now, and a book that I, want to share some words from. And he put it so profoundly, this idea that we hold different roles in this game of life. We are the audience of our life, we are the actor, and we are also in the back stages of things, viewing everything from a meta standpoint. And when you start internalizing this, you really start to see your power, and you really start to kind of live above or beyond kind of the typical ways in which you used to live by, where you're just in Maya a lot, the illusion of the world. You're falling into societal roles, you're falling into stereotypes, you're falling into these caricatures or these cookie cutter templates that you're told to fall under. And when you view yourself as the actor, like I'm acting my life out, frame by frame, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, this is my name, this is where I'm from, that's one thing. But when you can pan back and look at things from a meta standpoint, now life isn't as heavy because you know it's a play. You know that, hey, this is a production, so to speak. Just like, when you're watching a movie, you can be very immersed in the movie. The movie can make you cry, the movie can make you laugh, the movie can make you confused, excited, all these different feelings and emotions. But when you watch the behind the scenes, you're at a meta standpoint. You see the cameras, you see how it's orchestrated. Now you probably aren't as emotional because you remind yourself that you are, it's just a play, it's just a movie. And this is a microcosm of what life really is, right? We're put here, and our biology helps us forget that we are in a play, especially the agreements we make about life, who we should be, what we should accomplish. These agreements make us forget the play of life, the lightness that life is. But let me go ahead and read a couple quotes here. And this book is great because it's like a course version of his original book, Reality Transurfing. And he essentially breaks it down day by day. So there's like these short passage texts that you can read each day to get you kind of in the right headspace. So I'm going to kind of start more in the beginning of the book. So we got day 2 and 3. I'm going to read just a couple things that I want you to stick around for. So let's get into it. So in Hacking the Dream, which is the day 2 passage, he says, right now embrace the awareness that your life is a game, which you have been pushed into playing. While you are mentally engrossed in the game, you can't objectively evaluate a situation or influence the course of events in any significant way. So first, come down to the audience hall, take a good calm look at everything around you and say to yourself, in this moment, I'm fully awake and aware of where I am, what is happening, and what I am doing and why. Then walk back into the stage and continue playing your role while remaining the witness like any other member of the audience. Now you have a huge advantage, awareness. You have hacked the game and acquired the ability to control it. Exactly. So by stepping back, you understand that it's a game, and now you have the awareness. Now when things go quote unquote wrong in your life, you're like, this is part of my journey. This isn't the end of the world. I can come back from this. I can even rewrite the script, rewrite the story, because I'm also in the backstage, which I'm going to get to that passage soon. This is one of the most empowering realizations I've ever had when it came to like just organizing my life and things like that. On stage, everyone is playing a role, and all the actors are interacting with you in one way or another. They might expect something of you, make impositions, requests, and demands. They may help, obstruct, love, or hate. Look at the game consciously from a distance, and then you will understand it all. Right? So when you can really get this consistent in your life, the ability to pan out more, you are now living above Maya, above the illusion of reality. You're now more conscious, you're more lucid in your awareness. And it's such a superpower. I can't emphasize enough of how important it is. The world is a theater of dreams in which God is simultaneously a member of the audience, an actor, a scriptwriter, and a producer. So basically all roles. As a member of the audience, God observes the play that is unfolding on the stage of the world, just like you are, and just how you can be aware of you being in the play. As an actor, God feels and experiences everything in the same way as the character whose role he or she is playing. Just like you being the actor, God experiences the same thing. Again, there's no separation. God creates and controls reality through the intention of all living things. God placed a part of his will together with the soul in every living being, and then sent them out into the dream, into life. God gave every living soul the freedom and power to create their own reality by measures of their awareness. Practically all living beings omit to use the power of intention consciously and with clear purpose. In a state of non-lucid dreaming, it is as if they are vaguely aware of wanting something without really knowing. In this respect, man has developed little more than animals. The pendulums have not only succeeded in taking away people's awareness of their own abilities, they have perverted the very meaning of life, replacing the notion of being used of God with worship, whereas in fact the true goal of life and the idea of service of God consists in co-creation, creating together with God. So that's really powerful. And it mentions something called pendulums, which is essentially collective thought structures in a population of a certain belief. So believing that someone should follow this religion, or someone should be married this here, or somebody should do this with their life. If more people buy into it, that pendulum gets stronger and stronger and stronger. And it becomes easier for other people to buy into it. One of the pendulums a lot of people face is the idea of, worshiping God, as if God is separate from you. As if God is this entity, all-powerful entity outside of you. Like, no, you are it as well. And you also have the capabilities that God holds. Like what? Being in the audience hall, being in the play, and being the creator of the play, being the screenwriter. And if you have all these roles, you can shape your life just how you see fit. And as you're shaping this life, it gets harder for you to fall into the pendulums of the world because your awareness is very strong. You're aware of the way people think and how their thoughts try to suck you into their way of thinking and their belief system, so to speak. So when you internalize you being in the audience of life, you being the actor, and you being the creator of life, you can shape your life how you see fit, and you can be more light inside, because you know that if things go wrong, it's not the end of the world. If things go right, it's like, all right, that's life. Like, life has good things that happen, bad things that happen, and good and bad is really relative to who you are. But living beyond just a conventional Maya way of thinking is one of the most powerful spiritual practices you could ever implement into your life. And when you remember that you are source itself, you are connected with the all, you are connected with the universe. And that is where your power lies. Now you can see the game for what it is more. And another thing I want to touch on in this video is the importance of just not putting too much pressure on yourself, because I think that's what a lot of us do when we fall into the Maya or the illusion. We put a lot of pressure to compete, pressure to perform, pressure to meet something in a certain arbitrary time period, because that will give us validation, that will give us notoriety of some kind. And this just sucks the life out of us. It takes up so much energy. People that have this need to be productive 24/7, and they feel less of themselves when they're not productive. If they just step back, come out of the ego for a little bit, and sit in the audience hall and watch their life as if it's a movie playing, they start to see that this stuff isn't as important as they originally thought. When you're in the play, it's like it's a universe where everything is end all be all. But when you step out of it, you're like, this is just a play. And you could make the argument that, hey, when you watch a movie, you get emotionally invested into it. It does seem like real life. But then there's the other side of this that I mentioned that Vadim Zeland talked about, is that you're the screenwriter. You're the creator of the play itself. So even if you get immersed into it when you have just this meta awareness, there's an even bigger meta awareness that, hey, I can write this how I see fit. So if there's something that is sucking me in too much emotionally, something that went wrong, I can rewrite literally the meaning of that thing. And that's what we do. We are meaning creating machines. We have that power. We are reality creating machines too. So this is something I wanted to just share with you guys about how to apply, how to just see the play that is life. And this touches on reality transurfing. Again, great book. I recommend it. It's something I'm revisiting right now. And just don't put too much pressure on yourself. Don't fall in so much into the illusion. So, hope you found this valuable. Watch out for the next video.